So let's go from the bottom headquarters position to a good dogfight position. That's where we're gonna do our techniques today. So again, he's got me dead to rights in the half guard, basically pre-side control. Feet on the outside here, squeezing my knees. I'm gonna tilt my body, whole body, to the left to try and get him to post on that elbow. If I take him over, great, but if not, yeah, at least I got a little space to come here. As I rock back the other way, my feet go to the sky, and I get them about 45 degrees to my right. Here, boom. That's gonna allow me to get this underhook, get my shoulder, get my side on the ground instead of my back, and watch. I'm gonna take his ankle, and I'm gonna start hooking it here. Okay, let's assume your partner throws the overhook on you here, right? We're gonna do our techniques from the dogfight position today. If you can get out onto your elbow, great, but you should still be able to do this on your shoulder. From here, I'm gonna post on either my right hand or my right shoulder, and I'm gonna take my bottom leg out. Okay, so I'm gonna take the knee out first, get up onto my hand, and then I'm gonna take my foot out here and put it on the floor. This prevents him from throwing an uchimata on me, the inner thigh throw, and a lot of other things. From here, we're gonna do a couple sweeps. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get high head positioning, meaning my head has to be higher than his. I'm gonna drive forward with my right leg as I reach for his far arm and pull it towards me. Almost like a double leg, right? So again, we ended up here, this is the dog fight. I get high head positioning. At the same time, I'm gonna push off this leg, hold his knee, and put him back on his side. From here, in order to avoid the guard, I'm gonna back step with my knees off the ground until I get to a body lock position here. If he turns away from me, I'm gonna make a play for the back. If he turns towards me, I'm gonna settle for side control, or mount in that case. Okay, let's look at it again. From a different angle, let me borrow you this way, please, Ernest. Again, I'm on the bottom headquarters position, no good. I got a cross face here, I got my underhook stolen from me here. Knees tight to the outside, feet tight to the outside. I'm gonna tilt my body to the left to get him to open up this elbow. Oh, at that exact same time, I sneak my arm in, I rock 45 degrees to the right, feet go to the sky, here, and I get to the good underhook position here. I'm gonna drag his ankle with my knee here. Again, let's say he's giving me space and I can get onto my right arm. Watch what I do. I don't post out onto my arm like this. That's almost impossible, right? So I'm not dragging myself up like this. No good. I'm gonna lift my hips off the ground, lift my ribs off the ground, send my right arm behind me, and then post. And now I'm gonna take my right leg all the way out, preventing his uchimata. I'm gonna get high head positioning, drive off my right foot as I reach and pull for his far knee, and knees off the ground, back step. And again, if he turns away from me, I make a play for the back. If he turns towards me, I get side control. Any questions? A lot of little nuances to this technique, so let's take our time with it. Cool? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Get myself all the way to a dogfight position here. Boom. Again, let me get onto my side here. Again, watch what I do. I don't do this with my arm. That's almost impossible, right? Watch my ribs. I lift my ribs off the ground. See that space? I send my elbow through it. Now I can post here. Boom. I switch to my knees and I get my foot out. Let's say Ernest is being real hardcore with that overhook. Go ahead, put that overhook on me hard. We got two options from here. Okay? First option, if he's being really hard, really smash that overhook. Here. If he's smashing that overhook, I'm gonna fight it for a second to make him fight even harder, and then I'm just gonna limp arm out. Here. Okay, super simple. Let's look at that one more time. Again, he's being a badass with that overhook, right? I'm gonna fight it to get an even bigger reaction, and just like a rubber ball. As soon as he gives me that reaction, the technique is in the name. Limp arm. Like I injected a nerve blocker into my shoulder. Completely limp. I lead with my shoulder out and around, and I get that top position. Okay. Option number 2, if he's being a badass with that overhook here, I'm just gonna literally walk around him. Okay. From here, I get onto my feet and I start walking. He's got two options from here. He's either gonna let go of the overhook, or he's gonna hold on to it until he lands on his butt. Here. Okay. There's also an option to take the back from here. I don't want to get too into the weeds, but obviously you can see where I would insert my hook, right? So again, let's start from the half guard. Boom. I got my ankle switched. I'm pulling on that knee. I lift my ribs off the floor, set my arm behind, post, get my knee out, post. Option number one, he's giving me a hard pressure on that overhook, fight, limp arm out. Okay. Option number two, let him have the overhook, let him have that hard pressure. He can control my body, he can't control my lower body, or he can control my upper body, he can't control my lower body. I let him pressure that overhook and I just walk around him. Here, if I insert the hook, I can take his back, but what we're going to do today, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking until you put him on his back. Okay? Any questions? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Go.
All right, we got Khaled in the gray gi and Bob in the black gi. I'm starting them in the dogfight position to make them fight for the sweep. Bob could probably step his right foot up. Okay, he hits the slide by. Oh, but he didn't secure the position and Khaled gets right back up. So just because you get the back position doesn't mean everything's over. Here we see Khaled's wrestling skills come back into play and he gets to stand up. So from here, again, I'd like to see Bob step up onto that right foot. Gives you a little bit more stability and it negates Khaled's ability to hit an Uchimata. From here, hits the limp arm and fails to control the position, but at least he got out of the dogfight. Francis in the white gi here and Khaled with the overhook position here. Starting in the dogfight. Okay, right from here, Khaled has let go, but Francis's weight is also a little bit too far forward here. He should be walking behind Khaled this way, and as soon as he gets perpendicular, he should also start walking back just a little bit in order to pull Khaled this direction. Is he in danger of getting rolled? Maybe. Khaled looks like he let go of that overhook, so that's kind of saving him a little bit. Still, you could see like both feet are pretty much off the ground here. I'd like to see him a little bit more to the right of the screen. Uh-oh, he might get rolled here. Okay, boom. Khaled's going for, lack of a better word, fat man roll here. He might be able to get it just because Francis's weight is so far forward. Oh, almost. Look at this struggle. So, Francis did the right thing by posting his head, but look how far his feet are off the ground. Khaled's got kind of like a reverse underhook on his leg here. I don't know who's going to win this battle. If Khaled can walk his legs forward and really torque on that overhook here, maybe lift with this underhook here, he might be able to put Francis on his back. If Francis is able to extend his weight that way, he might be able to maintain the position. Let's see how it works out. Oh no, Khaled should have walked a little bit, but pretty good sweep and pass from Francis. Here we got Bob on top and Ernest on the bottom, working their way out of the headquarters position, trying to get to the half guard position here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, Ernest keeps bridging. I'd like to see him tilt. There we go. He gets his half guard sweep right off the bat. That's the best case scenario where your opponent's crossface arm isn't enough of a post to stop the sweep, and then you end up taking him over just on the Kazushi off balancing. If not, we're going to use that off balancing to get to a good half guard position, which Ernest gets here. Very good. Pretty textbook. Again, the resistance isn't very hard right now. He gets a knee tap sweep and passes to side control. Bob's obviously letting him work, but that's how we start. Oh, Ernest got cauliflower ear recently, so that's why you see him in pain at the end there. All right, we got Francis on the top here and Khaled in pajamas for some reason on the bottom here. Running the drill. Let's see how it goes. He's got his feet on the outside here. Rocks to the left. Doesn't work, so he goes back to try it again. So again, we're looking for Francis to off balance him this direction using our knees and our upper body. And what we really want is his elbow to post as wide as possible in order to prevent himself from being swept. If we sweep him, that's the best case scenario. But if it doesn't happen, we should be able to get to a good half guard position. There we go. Look how wide Francis's elbow is. It was here, moved all the way over here. Now, ideally, Khaled is going to take his elbow, slip it inside so we could get a good underhook position. There we go. Okay, let's rewind. Let's see what happened here. Take a note of Khaled's feet, particularly his left leg here. Instead of rocking, he plants. That's very risky. Here, look, there is nothing keeping Francis from passing his guard right here. If he wanted to, he could slip that leg right out, just like we saw in a lot of cases last week. So again, it's gonna feel powerful. You're gonna want to do it, but avoid the temptation of bridging here. Just rock side to side with both feet up in the air. Trust me. Scoops the ankle and, yep, gets to his side and gets to a dogfight position here. Works his way around, hits the back step. Good. Reverse situation. Khaled is on top here and Francis is on the bottom here. Running the drill. Rock side to side. Okay, so he gets directly to the underhook there. Okay. Forgot to scoop the ankle, but he manages to get to a dogfight position. Walks around and sits him back into side control. Pretty good. Got Ernest on top with the headgear this time, so hopefully the cauliflower affects him a little bit less. Bob on the bottom here. Okay, let's go back. I'm already seeing a mistake. Take note of Bob's legs as he rocks side to side. Boom. Again, nothing keeping... maybe Bob's right leg would be enough to keep him inside his closed guard. But again, we don't just want to move Ernest. We want him to force him to compensate to prevent from being swept over this way by moving his elbow. So again, Bob's feet should be collected on the outside of Ernest's legs here, and his knees, in terms of lower body, is what's going to get that off balancing. Okay, now his feet are in the correct position. He'll have a better chance. Okay, big problem. He's opened up the legs again. Keep your feet together, please. Yeah, he keeps losing that foot positioning. If you find your feet sliding below your opponent's knees, it's time to reset. Manages to get to a dogfight position here. Ernest tries to block him, and Bob steps around. Again, not high resistance. That probably wouldn't have worked out in a real sparring situation, but please, if you can see here, you want to keep your feet, if you're going to do this technique, you want to keep your feet above your opponent's knees at all times. If you ever find yourself sliding below their knee, reset. All right, we got Francis on top and Khaled on the bottom here. Okay, let's look at that mistake right there. So I believe this is sparring. They're no longer drilling. I'm starting 5-minute matches in this position. So again, take a good look at Khaled's lower body. He can't quite get the off balancing. First of all, if he's going for the off balancing that we practiced that day, he should be going to this side. I think he's trying to go to the closed guard, so his left hand is probably pushing Francis's right knee, and then Khaled trying to slide his left knee into the closed guard, which is fine, especially if he can't get the off balancing like we went over this week. But he makes a big mistake right here, and look, again, he goes to bridge, and there's nothing stopping Francis from stepping over. If you get lucky, you'll roll your opponent, but is that really a gamble that you want to take? I wouldn't. Boom. Yep. Oh, never mind. This is drilling. Okay, so they reset if any other position other than what we went over in class happens. So Khaled gets his feet above Francis's knee. Yeah, he's off balancing to the wrong direction. He should be off balancing to this direction. Again, you can get started in this direction and kind of rock side to side, side to side, side to side until you end up in that direction. But yeah, if you don't have the underhook, probably shouldn't be turning towards your opponent, at least in this scenario. Again, opens up his legs because he gets desperate for the bridge, and he gets mounted. Boom. And again, Khaled's doing jiu-jitsu a lot longer than Francis, but Francis is bigger. Yeah, I believe he's bigger. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out, hey, if the guy's legs aren't closed, I can just kind of slide in the mount. Okay, when you rock side to side, your body should be moving together. I'm going to rewind it a little bit here. Look at Khaled's body when he rocks side to side. It's kind of I got to rewind it a little bit more. It's a little bit disjointed. Like, did you see his lower body move and then his upper body move? Together. Now Francis easily just gets to a high knee position and gets to the 3/4 mount. and then gets to the full mount here. Got Khaled on top and Francis on the bottom here. Should be going the other way. And again, his legs are not in a great position. Maybe because he's so much taller than Khaled. I would like to see his knees kind of above, or his legs above Khaled's knees. So if Khaled's knees right here, ideally you want your feet above that position. It's a little bit harder when your opponent's shorter than you. This does manage to get to an underhook position. Good, rocks to the side, exactly. Because look, if both your legs are in the air, your opponent can't just slide out into mount here, at least from this position, and he can't kick his leg back out into the side control either. So again, legs high in the air, please. Gets to the side, he's got to pull the ankle now. Oh, okay, that was risky. Rewind it 1 second. He did not pull the ankle, and let's see, boom. Right now, there's nothing stopping Khaled from passing into side control. Francis's right leg, I don't see it, so that tells me at most it's here, and it's probably not making good contact with Khaled's leg here. If you're going to abandon one leg, then the other leg must be hooked in the half guard. If there are no hooks, there's nothing keeping your opponent in between your legs. Fortunately, Khaled doesn't see that, and now Francis gets a nice hook with his ankle, and now he's applying that knee torque pressure, which is key for the half guard, especially the Coyote half guard, but I would argue any half guard. Okay, Francis trying to get to his side. Khaled doing a good pressure job maintaining that top pressure. Francis doing something smart. He's blocking the crossface, so Khaled can't really get close to him. Oh, and he swings his arms out wide, gets a dogfight here. Attempts to limp arm, doesn't quite work, and settles for a drive through. Not bad. All right, now we got Khaled on top here and Ernest on the bottom here. Ernest got good leg positioning. Rocking to the left. Oh, that was my mistake. It looked a little bit dark, so I was trying to get the correct white balance. And Ernest manages to work him safe back to the closed guard. Pretty good. This is going to happen a lot. This round, I apologize. Okay, so Khaled is doing something smart, and he's lifting his far knee off the ground. These guys don't know the butterfly guard yet, but if your opponent does that, you'll probably insert, in this case, your left butterfly hook. Oh, that was a beautiful sweep. Let's look at what happened there. So, oh, this thing freeze. So, he's working. Go back a little bit more. So Khaled's got high knee positioning. Looks like he's still got the underhook on the far side. And then Ernest does a good job trapping Khaled's underhook with his own overhook. Notice as he's off balance, and he just rolls to that side. Ends up on top. And in side control for that matter. Very nice. That's the best case scenario if you manage to catch your opponent slipping on the off balance. Okay, now see, look, Khaled's gun shy about getting rolled again. So if he posts his, not only his elbow, but if we rewind a little bit, yeah, look at his hand, his whole hand, boom. Look at all that beautiful space for Ernest to sneak his underhook in. All just because he got swept once, and now even the threat of an off balancing is making him overreact. That's great. Ernest gets the underhook. Now he's got to do some, yeah, exactly. He rocks his leg to the right. He's still caught in that crossface. I'd be rocking side to side right now if I were him. Just trying to bridge your opponent or just rock your opponent over to the side once usually isn't going to work. But he does manage to work himself to a closed guard. So, not the ideal situation, but a pretty good situation. All right, we got Francis on the top here and Ernest on the bottom here. Looks like Ernest trying to go back to the closed guard. No, I don't like that bridging. It doesn't really help him. Again, if your opponent lifts their leg from this position, you're probably going to take your left leg, boom, and insert that butterfly hook here. I don't think these guys know. Oh, no, maybe he doesn't. Okay, there we go. Speak of the devil. Oh, and he got a sweep out of it. This must be the sparring round. Yeah. So again, if your opponent lifts the knee, go to the butterfly guard. All right, we got Khaled on top here and Francis on the bottom here. This might be sparring, so this is no longer drilling, I believe. Could be wrong. Fighting for the underhook. Okay. Oh, that was pretty good. And now he gets the underhook. Good. Again, if I were Francis here, I would start trying to use my right arm to get on the inside of Khaled's bicep to get rid of that crossface. Or we could do what just because looks like he has enough space. Khaled's arms aren't connected. Or he could do what we did today. Get under the armpit here. Get under the armpit here. Rock his legs side to side until he ends up on his right side. Let's see what he does. Might be trying to push his way back into closed guard. Even if you do that, it's easier to do it on your side. Not sure what Khaled's doing with his right hand, trying to push on Francis' face. Okay, he almost got to his side there. Okay, now he's in decent half guard position here, especially if he could get that ankle into play. Khaled doing a good job of using his pressure to keep Francis on his back, but okay, I was going to point this out. Again, hooking the ankle is crucial. Right now, he lost a knee torque. You can see Khaled's leg is straight. You want it bent so you could torque that knee or the ankle this way to apply knee torque pressure here. But let's see what he does with it. Oh, I guess that's the end of the round. Oh no, Khaled was having, let's just say, digestive issues. So that brought a quick end to that round. You got Khaled on top here and Francis on bottom here again. So hopefully Khaled took care of his digestive issues. We start in the same position. Okay. There's nothing stopping keeping Khaled from passing guard right now. This ankle should be hooked for dear life right over here. And applying knee torque pressure. Okay, now he's got it. He's a little too flat on. Francis is a little too flat on his back. Okay, this is what we're looking for in the half guard. Deep underhook, although he could be a little bit deeper and further out onto his side. The further you are to your opponent's back, the better. But in terms of lower body, it doesn't get prettier than this. Your opponent cannot get perpendicular to you if you're applying this knee torque pressure here. Again, we're not looking to hurt our opponent's knee. I don't think you're ever going to really injure your opponent here, but it's impossible for them to get perpendicular to you if you get that knee torque pressure. I'm doing a bad job with the camera. I got caught up in the moment. I'm like coaching Francis right now. He's got to get to his side. Again, Khaled doing a good job keeping Francis on his back. Remember the three principles: head positioning, on your side, and underhook. So right now, Francis has two, but Khaled's still defending with one, and he manages to pass. We got Khaled on top here, and Francis on the bottom here. Already got the underhook, so he should be turning to his right. Khaled locks his hands. Okay, now he unlocked his hands. Okay, now Francis has a deeper underhook. His head positioning is still a little too high. Again, our end goal is we want to be lower than our opponent's head. So we've got the underhook not quite on our side and not quite good with the head positioning yet. Yeah, again, if none of that's in place, it's going to be hard to maintain correct knee torque pressure. He's got a shallow underhook, but it's not doing him much help because he's got his head controlled, and he's got okay, now he rocks to the wrong side though. Oh, that was a good. He rocked to the wrong side. That was looking good for a second, but he went to the wrong side. That's all right. He's a white belt. All right, we got Khaled on top and Francis on the bottom again. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Ernest on the bottom. This is a sparring round, I believe. Again, if your opponent's knee comes off the ground this high, just insert that butterfly hook in. Ernest doing a good job getting a crossface of his own here. Hopefully he can turn that into an underhook here. I'd go right back to the butterfly guard if I were Ernest right now. Okay. Hey, very good. And manages to get to a guard position. Got Kirk on top here and Bob on the bottom here. Kirk doing a good job shutting down that underhook, kind of. Oh no, Bob got to the wrong side. And it's an easy pass for Kirk from here. Oh, maybe not. Still kind of stuck in that. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea what that was. Oh, but he manages to recover prison. That was just slop. That's white belt jiu-jitsu right there. Let's look at that again. I have no idea what happened. Okay, so Kirk makes way too much space. Bob is unable to get the underhook here. Kirk kind of steps up. He switches the base on Bob. Gets to 3/4 mount here. Has his knee in the air for some reason. Gets knocked off his base. Bob comes up, but then Kirk manages to get on top and pass the guard. Beautiful white belt jiu-jitsu right there.